You were never meant to have a body. That heaviness in your limbs, the strange ache in your joints, the way you sometimes feel like you're wearing something far too dense for your essence to breathe. None of it is random. There is a reason your skin feels like armor, why your voice feels like an echo instead of the source. You are not broken. You are not sick. You are simply far from home. And where you come from, there were no bones, no weight, no edges, only light, movement, and breath without lungs. Your first incarnation was not on a terrestrial planet like Earth. You did not emerge from soil or water. You were born in the currents of a gas giant. A world so vast, so deep, so alive in its swirling storms and hyperdimensional winds that the idea of ground was never part of your vocabulary. Your consciousness came into being as vibration. Your soul stabilized itself not through muscle or flesh, but through harmonic containment, a kind of radiant plasma sheath, more like a pulse of awareness than a shape. In that realm, identity was fluid. You were never alone because thought was communal. There were no others, only frequencies, some sharp, some soft, some resonant with yours. You didn't speak. You layered vibration upon vibration, and meaning would emerge in waves. You didn't walk. You drifted along gravitational veins, through dense atmospheric rivers that shifted color and density with every thought. You didn't eat, for energy was absorbed directly through electromagnetic fusion. You didn't sleep because time did not progress in lines but in loops, spirals, and simultaneous probability streams. That world, your origin, was not mythical. It was not symbolic. It existed and still does outside the spectrum of human instruments. It pulses behind the veil of Jupiter's radiation belts, Saturn's magnetic field, or perhaps in a system light-years from this one, where gravity and sound are the building blocks of architecture. The beings there, your kin, did not build cities. They sang them into form. They stabilized them with harmonic pressure, weaving resonant tones that kept entire atmospheric ecosystems in balance. Their science was sound. Their memory was light. And now here you are, waking up inside a body on a planet defined by physicality, friction, and limitation. No wonder you feel trapped. No wonder you've always struggled to fully be here. You weren't designed for form. You volunteered for it. The transition wasn't smooth. Souls like yours, light-based, gaseous, unformed, do not enter matter easily. When you incarnated on Earth, your consciousness had to compress, to fold into itself like collapsing starlight, until you could squeeze into the human nervous system. Some of you tried and failed in other lifetimes, short-lived incarnations or fragmented ones, where trauma fractured the container before it could stabilize. Others were more successful, but the cost was high: total amnesia. The memory of flight, of resonance, of a world where breathing meant harmonizing with pressure waves, not pulling air into lungs, erased. And yet, something remains. You feel it in your resistance to gravity, the way your shoulders ache after a long day, the way you avoid tight clothes, loud cities, dense crowds. You feel it in your aversion to hierarchy, your longing for unity, your discomfort with being separate. You remember through dreams, flying without wings, hearing choirs of tone instead of words, seeing colors that have no name. You remember in the way you naturally hum to calm yourself, in the way certain frequencies send shivers up your spine. You remember every time you look at the sky and your chest tightens for no logical reason. This is not imagination. This is not fantasy. This is memory. Suppressed, distorted, filtered through human neurochemistry, but real. And the more you begin to allow it, the more your nervous system will adapt. You'll stop fighting your body and start translating your old language into new behavior. You will find movement practices that mimic your former state. Floating, spiraling, wave-like. You will gravitate toward music not as entertainment, but as medicine. You will remember that your gift on earth is not what you do, but what you emit. You are not here to teach others the ways of gas giants. You are here to anchor their frequency. You're a transmitter, walking atmospheric code wrapped in skin. You carry the memory of non-dual communion, of harmonic reality, of architecture made from song. And this planet, this dense, polarized, beautiful chaos, needs that memory to awaken its next octave. You were not meant to feel in the way humans do. Emotion on Earth is thick, weighted by language, tangled with memory and survival instinct. But on your home world there was no need for interpretation. Emotion was vibration, expressed and released in the same breath. Sadness would rise as a cool, lavender current through your field, swirl through the atmosphere, then dissipate. Joy radiated as golden hums that synchronized all around you. There were no grudges.
No trauma loops.
No silence born of shame. Only frequency, fluid, honest, ephemeral. When you arrived here inside this human form, that flow was interrupted. The moment you entered density, emotion solidified. What used to pass through you like mist now clung like wet cloth. You were expected to explain it, to justify it, to store it. And because no one around you could remember how to move it the way you once did, you learned to hold it, to freeze it. You learned how to perform emotion instead of releasing it. And over time, that storage became confusion, fatigue, and disconnection. But underneath it all, the old mechanism is still alive. That is why your tears often come for no reason. Why your body trembles during music. Why you crave water when you're not thirsty. These are not flaws. These are echoes. Reminders that you were once a being of flow, not friction. Your system knows how to move emotion without story. It remembers how to vibrate feeling into the field instead of locking it behind the ribcage. To return to that state, you must stop trying to translate your experience into words. Stop forcing meaning. Begin instead by attuning to tone, to movement, to breath. Let your emotion return to what it once was, energy in motion. Start with the subtle, a hum in your throat, a low, open sound vibrating in your chest. Do it alone if needed. In the dark. In water. Let the frequency of your past speak through your voice. Not in words but in tone. You may find that certain vowels awaken you more than others. That some days you only want to rock in place. That your body longs to sway, circle, spiral. These are not random behaviors. They are the closest things your human form can access to mimic the atmospheric language you once knew. This is not regression. This is reintegration. The world will not always understand this. People may call you sensitive, strange, overly emotional, too airy, too quiet, too ungrounded. They are not wrong. You are ungrounded because you didn't come from ground. You came from sky, from storm, from the swirling intelligence of a gas world that taught you harmony not through discipline, but through resonance. That resonance lives in your body now. You carry it not as memory but as blueprint. You have already noticed how certain sounds heal you. Why binaural beats calm you more than words. Why solfeggio tones help you sleep. Why some voices send your heart into grief without knowing why. This is your soul recognizing the harmonic codes that resemble home. And in time you'll begin to emit your own. Not through performance. Not through teaching. But through living. When you align with your natural rhythm. When you eat slowly, breathe fully, move gently, listen without rushing. You shift the field. People will soften around you without knowing why. Children may look at you differently. Animals will come closer. Nature will respond. Your presence alone will recalibrate space. Because in truth, you are not here to fix the planet. You are here to be a tuning fork. To remind the earth how to sing again. And sometimes that role is lonely. Your family may not feel like family. Your friends may not feel like mirrors. Even among other awakened beings, you may still feel like the edge of something undefinable. This is not because you are disconnected, it is because your origin is rare. Most starseeds come from solid worlds, structured societies, even spiritual hierarchies. But you came from openness. From a realm where structure was emergent, never imposed. Where identity was collective, not personal. This is why boundaries are hard for you. Why the human concept of me and mine often feels foreign. Why you prefer connection through silence, through presence, through shared sensation. Not small talk, not debate, not role-playing. You are not antisocial. You are a being of field resonance. You connect through coherence, not conversation. And as you begin to live more authentically, your relationships will change. You may lose people. You may grieve the distance between your soul and theirs. But slowly, steadily, you will begin to draw others who resonate not with your personality, but with your frequency. These are your harmonic kin, not necessarily from the same planet, but from the same octave of consciousness. They may not speak your language, but they will feel familiar. With them, silence will feel full. Stillness will feel shared. And together you will begin to rebuild the network you once knew. A net of light, of resonance, of atmospheric remembrance humming quietly across the earth. This net is not visible, but it is active. Right now, in forests and bedrooms and quiet studios across the planet, souls like yours are humming, swirling, remembering, breathing in ways they can't explain, dreaming of places they've never seen in this life, anchoring light they cannot yet describe. And together, you are preparing the field for a shift, not into the fifth dimension as a destination, but into a different state of coherence. Earth is ready. She has begun to hum again. Have you noticed? The way the air feels heavier before certain storms. The strange stillness just before dusk. The way time bends in the early morning. These are signals. This planet, long forgotten as a living being, is waking up to her own harmonic code. And starseeds like you are here to help stabilize that emergence. Not through resistance, but through embodiment. You are not here to escape gravity. You are here to bring grace into it. You are not here to return home. You are here to build it here in sound, in field, in breath, in presence. So if you find yourself crying for no reason at the sound of wind, if you feel your heartbeat slow as you listen to rainfall, if you sometimes look at a spinning planet in a documentary and feel an ache that has no name, you are not lost and you are not alone. You are a carrier of resonance. A soul that once drifted weightless through harmonic oceans, now wrapped in skin, tasked with a mission not of knowledge but of frequency. You did not come here to explain yourself. You came to vibrate the memory of what Earth is becoming. You came to show, by your way of being, that light is not foreign to matter, that stillness can exist inside motion, and that harmony is not something to achieve but something to remember. Let the others chase definitions. Let the world argue over dimensions and doctrine. You hum softly in your own rhythm. Walk as if the earth is singing under your feet. Let your presence be the bridge between two worlds. One that never had a body, and one that is just beginning to remember its soul. And if someday you forget again, and you will just sit with the silence. Close your eyes. Breathe into your chest. You will feel it. A faint swirling. A pulse inside the breath. The memory of light, alive and awake, still humming within you. That is home. And you are already there.